This is Mr. Donald Sumadon, and we are going to discuss the Republic Act 10121, or the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Act of 2010. Okay, so ito makinig kayo mabuti at ito yung pag-uusapan natin. And this is very much important kasi nga this is in response to the climate change na nararanasan natin ngayon. Pabago-bago ang panahon, no? Gaya ng jowa mo na pabago-bago. And we're going to discuss, ito na, at papag-aralan natin yung mga provisions of Republic Act 10121, no? Or the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010. Ayan. So, umpisahan natin dito sa disaster response, ano? So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin nito? The provision of emergency services and public assistance during or immediately after a disaster in order to save lives, reduce health impact, ensure public safety, and meet the basic subsistence needs of the people affected. The disaster response is predominantly focused on immediate and short-term needs and is sometimes called disaster relief. Yan, huwag niyong kalilimutan yan. The other term for disaster response is disaster relief. Pag sinabi nating disaster relief, lulunasan natin yung epekto ng disaster na tumama sa isang komunidad. Ayan, disaster relief. So, pag sinabi nating disaster response, we are referring to the public assistance during the disaster and immediately after the disaster. Kaya alam nyo, kapag yan nanalanta na ang bagyo at umaapaw na yung tubig dahil sa patuloy na lakas ng ulan, tuloy-tuloy na ulan. Alam naman natin ang epekto niyan ay baha, flood. Doon na lang sa bubong ng kanilang bahay, doon na sila nakatira o kaya ay doon na sila nakatayo at naghihintay ng magre-rescue sa kanila. Yan yung during the disaster. After naman ng disaster, relief operation naman. Pag sinabi nating relief operation, yan na, yung pagbibigay ng pagkain, tubig, o kaya ay yung basic necessity. Binibigay na yan, itinutulong sa mga apektadong lugar. Kaya nga, yung other term ng disaster response ay disaster relief. Okay? So yan yung pinaka-konsepto nito. Yung magtulungan ang lahat ng gobyerno, pati na rin yung other government organization, civic organization, nagtutulungan ang mga yan para tulungan yung mga apektadong mamamayan. Kung maalala nyo itong COVID na ito, marami ang nagbayanihan dito. Marami ang nagbigay ng tulong. So yan yung kailangang gawin ng mamamayan pagdating dito sa disaster response. Lahat yan nagtutulungan. So, ano nga ba itong hazard at saka exposure? Pag sinabi nating hazard, that is the phenomena, o kaya ay event, o kaya ay occurrence, o kaya ay human activity that may cause injury, loss of lives, and damage to property and the environment. Yan yung tinatawag nating hazard. Pag sinabi naman nating exposure, that is the degree to which the people and properties are likely to experience hazard. Ayan. So, magkaiba itong dalawang ito. Kasi pag sinabi na nating hazard, meron ng typhoon. Phenomena na yan. Event na yan. Meron ng floods. Meron ng drought. Earthquake, tsunami sa mga malapit sa baybayin. Yung human activity naman, nandyan. Yung war o kaya ay terrorism, sabi nila yung pandemic man-made daw. Sige, isali na natin, epidemic. Pag sinabi nating epidemic, epidemic that is only affected to a certain region or lugar lang. Hindi kagaya ng pandemic, talagang iba't ibang bansa, no? Merong tinatamaan kagaya nitong COVID na ito, hindi lang Pilipinas kundi sa iba't ibang bansa pa. Globally, kumbaga ang epekto niyan, kaya pandemic. Pag epidemic, dito lang, region lang o kaya ay sa isang bansa lang. Okay? So, kung mapapansin niyo dyan, anong gagawin natin? Let us prepare for hazard. No? Yan ang pinaka-concept ng disaster response. Let's prepare for hazard. Know the hazard contingency planning. Yan yung konsepto ng papag-aralan natin na ito, itong 10-12-1 na ito. And monitor hazard, yung early warning system. Example na natin, yung pagbubukas ng valve ng tubig sa Magat Dam. Dapat mag-abiso muna sila bago sila magbukas kasi talagang marami ang ma-flood, marami ang masasagasaan sa baha. At kapag hindi sila lumikas, tapos meron pang hindi marunong lumangoy, ayun na nga, no? Pag wawala o kaya ay pagkasawi ng buhay. And then through that, it mitigate hazard. Protect communities through infrastructure. Kaya nagpapatayo tayo ng mga infrastructure defense against flood. Okay? And yung minimize exposure, dyan sa underexposure naman, of course, relocation and evacuation. Before the occurrence, kailangan nang mag-evacuate. No? Pero ganun din, during the occurrence of a typhoon or hazard, evacuate ang kinakailangan dyan. Yan naman ang pinaka-common na ginagawa natin in order to mitigate, no, that hazard na yan. So that is yan yung konsepto ng disaster response. And ano naman yung disaster risk reduction? No? Pag sinabi nating reduction, a systematic effort to analyze and manage the causes of disaster by reducing the vulnerabilities and enhancing capabilities in order to lessen the adverse impact of hazard and the probability of disaster. Yan. So, kailangan nating i-reduce yung epekto nito. Kung nasalanta na tayo, wala na tayong magagawa. Sabi nga natin, disaster is nandyan na yan. No? Predicted na yan, meron na yan. So, anong gagawin natin? Paghandaan natin para nga ma-reduce yung risk na yan. So, anong gagawin natin? So, makikita nyo dyan, yung reduce vulnerabilities and enhance capacities. Sabi dyan is kailangan mayroong organized communities. Kailangan natin ng pagtutulungan ng bawat isa. Strong governance. Okay? So, kaya meron tayong batas, yan na, pinapakita na seryoso ang gobyerno natin para in order to respond dito sa mga iba't ibang klase ng disaster na tumatama sa atin. Food security, quality education, health and sanitation, access to safe water, no? Kasama rin dyan yung reduce poverty. Alam nyo kasi kung mahirap tayo, paano tayo makakapagpatayo ng malakas o kaya ay pangontra sa mga typhoon, malalakas na typhoon? Wala naman tayong resources, di ba? So kaya kung makikita nyo dyan, no, yung sa vulnerability, sabi dyan. So paano tayo magiging vulnerable? Yan na, isa yan, poverty, kahirapan. Ang bahay lang natin, ang kaya lang nating patayuan ng bahay ay simpleng gawa sa punong kahoy, gawa sa kuko lumber, no? Tapos tapal-tapal lang, plywood. Di paano pa yan? Talagang we are vulnerable if that is the case. O kaya ay disabilities, mayroon tayong kapansanan. Poor health and sanitation, no? Hunger, kasama na kasi yan, ano? Poor land use planning, no? Yung bahay mo nasa gilid ng dagat o kaya ay landslide prone area. Okay, overexploited and degraded natural resources, poor infrastructure, poor governance. Yan yung mga instances na we are vulnerable, no, sa kalamidad na yan, ano? So yan nga yung nakalagay diyan, vulnerability and capacity. So that is the characteristics of a community that make it susceptible to a hazard or capable of coping and recovering from the damaging effect of a disaster. So paano tayo makaka-recover, no, yung sa epekto ng disaster kung ganyan naman yung situation natin, yung nabanggit ko kanina, di ba? So kailangan ng magtulungan, no? Pamumuhay iangat, ha? Sabi ng mga politiko, iangat ang pamumuhay ng mahirap, no? Lagi naman ganyan yung mga politiko natin. Okay? So wala tayong pinapatamaan, ha? Baka may makarinig sa atin. And yung capacity naman, of course, wise use of resources, no? So dapat magtulungan na, kasama na natin ang ating local government unit or ang gobyerno. Okay, robust infrastructure, kailangan ng mga infrastructure. Strong and good governance. Ayan. So meron 'yan sa atin. Yang palang defense, flood defense, ginagawa na yung ilog natin diyan sa papuntang no, yung Magat River, ba? Mayroon na. Kinukumpuni na 'yan yung gilid-gilid niya. Okay? Para protection 'yan sa baha. And kailangan din natin, class, ano, yung transfer risk. Ano ba yung transfer risk na 'yan? Kailangan insured ang mamamayan, no? Insurance and social protection, kagaya sana ng PhilHealth, no? Kapag nagkasakit ka, may PhilHealth ka, pero meron atang batas, ano? Tayo na kahit na ikaw ay basta't indigent ka, covered ka ng PhilHealth. Okay? So, yan. No? Maganda talaga ang pamamalakad. Ang problema, may mga issue tayong naririnig about PhilHealth. Pero, wag na nating pag-usapan yan kasi ibang topic naman yan. Ano? So, yan. So, kinakailangan mayroon tayong insurance. Pag natamaan tayo ng kalamidad, insured tayo. Actually, mayroon yan sa mga iba't ibang non-government organization, nagbibigay sila ng insurance. Maliban sa PhilHealth, meron din yung calamity in accident insurance. No? Meron ata in-offer kagaya ng Emlulier o kaya ay yung mga iba't ibang remittance center na nag-o-offer ng ganyan. Okay? So, people who live in poverty, yan nga, ano, ang problema. Kasi dito sa atin, karamihan naman sa atin, mahihirap tayo eh. Sabagay, yung mga nakikita naman natin yung mga ibang bahay, talagang typhoon resiliency naman yung kanilang bahay, talagang concrete, ano? So okay sa kanila kasi kaya nilang magpatayo ng ganon. Paano naman yung iba? Yung iba, meron niya akong nakita yung bahay niya, kwan lang talaga, mga ordinary wood lang. Tapos tapal-tapal lang, mga plywood lang ang nakalagay. So paano yan kung nagkaroon ng bagyo? No? So sila talaga yung tatamaan diyan. Yan na yung tinatawag nilang adverse effect of disaster. No? So sila yung vulnerable na tatamaan. Kaya yan yung nakalagay diyan, the most vulnerable sector include the poor, no? The sick, okay? Yung may mga kapansanan, may mga sakit. So paano ka pa makakapag-travel? Paano mo ba pupunta sa malapit na ospital yung pasyente kapag sinumpong yung kanyang sakit? Wala ka nang madaanan kasi nagtumbahan na ang mga punong kahoy. Diba? People with disabilities, no? The elderly, yung mga may edad na, mga women and children. Okay, di ba? So, although many people may be affected, this vulnerable sector will have the least capacity to recover from the impact of a disaster. Okay, so, syempre, sa mga bata, kasama na rin dyan yung phobia, no? Yung takot, kasama na rin dyan. Okay, so in this context, it is important for society to strengthen the capacity of vulnerable sector. So, sila yung kailangan nating tulungan, no? So, nabanggit naman na natin kung sino-sino yung mga vulnerable sector sa ating community. Yan, kasasabi lang natin kanina, yung mga vulnerable. In doing so, the vulnerable sector cease to be victims of disaster and will become agent of change for meaningful development of communities. That's why this DRRM was created. And that is the Republic Act number 10121 or the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010 is a new law which transformed the Philippine disaster management system from disaster relief and response toward disaster risk reduction. It was approved on May 27, 2010 and it repealed the Presidential Decree 1566 which was enacted way back in 1978. No? So yan, time pa yan ni President Marcos, yung PD 1566 na yan. No? The old law or the former law of disaster risk reduction management. So, what are the salient features of the DRRM Act? No, yung tatlo na yan, yung coherence with international framework, adherence to universal norms, principles, and standards of humanitarian assistance, and good governance through transparency and accountability, that is the international standard for the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Act. So, hindi lang sa Pilipinas yan, sa buong mundo. No? Iba't ibang bansa, yan ang kanilang features. Pag meron, yan din yung kanilang features. No? So, next is yung strengthen institutional mechanism for DRRM. Pag sinabi nating strengthen institutional mechanism, kasama na hindi lang gobyerno, iba't ibang institusyon ng ating lipunan, kasama na yan, mga iba't ibang organisasyon, mapa-government, mapa-private institution, kasama tayo, walang exception dyan. Pag gusto mong tumulong, tumulong ka. Pag gusto mong maging parte ng DRRM, dapat meron kang functions. Okay? So, mapapag-aralan natin yan mamaya. Integrated, coordinated, multi-sectoral. O, ito na, no? Yung sinasabi natin, i-activate niya yung institutional mechanism para sa DRRM na yan. It will integrate, coordinated, multi-sectoral, interagency, and community-based approach to disaster risk reduction. So, wag nating sabihin na, bahala na ang gobyerno dyan. Bahala na si mga politiko dyan. Hindi. Lahat tayo ay involved dito. Kaya nga, meron dyan, ang kadugtong yan ay empowerment of local government unit, yung LGUs natin. Kasi baka sasabihin ni LGU, bahala ang national government. No. Mas may pangil ang LGU pagdating sa DRRM. Kasi nga sila yung front line. Sila yung nakakaalam kung ano yung vulnerable area sa kanilang lugar. Integration of the DRRM into educational system. Alam nyo, itong subject, kaya nga meron tayong subject na DRRM kasi integrated na ito sa ating sa inyong course. Sa lahat na yan, hindi lang sa course nyo, pati rin sa ibang mga courses. Okay? And of course, establishment of DRRM fund. At the national and local level, important yan, pondo. providing for provision and declaration of the state of calamity, remedial measures, preventive acts, and penalty. Yan yung coverage. Last part niyan, yung papag-aralan natin. So, who are involved in DRRM as mandated in the DRRM Act? Sino ba ang involved dito? Unang-una, yung national government. No? Sila yung initiator nito. Ha? Kaya meron tayong batas, ito na. Meron na silang action dito. So, from national government, yan yung cycle. Mapansin nyo yung cycle dyan. So, from national government, it will proceed or it will rotate to the local government o kaya ay LGU. No? So, LGU kasi, yan yung sinasabi dyan, are considered as the frontliners, no? And first responder. Bakit sila yung first responder? Kasi sila nga yung may sakop, no, sa kanilang barangay, munisipyo. Alam nila yung kung saan yung prone o kaya ay vulnerable area pagdating sa mga disaster. Okay? Of course, they take the lead in preparing for, responding to, and recovering from the effect of any disaster. Yan. So, yan, yung community, tumatama dyan. And then, yung civil society organization or CSO and private sector and volunteer. No? So, lahat yan, nagtutulungan. So, the civil society organization and the private sector play formal and informal roles in effective DRRM. They complement and enhance the government resources and effort in implementing an effective DRRM. So, sila na yung katulungan ng ating LGU. Yung iba't ibang private sector. Okay? So, marami yan. Punta ka lang dyan labas ka lang sa community, makikita mo na kung ano-ano yung mga private sector dyan. Kagaya ng mga establishment, no? Yan, mga private sector ang mga yan. Ang mga remittance center, gasoline station, at iba pa na nandyan. Yan, mga private ang mga yan. Private sector. Okay? Kasama na rin dyan kung mayroon mga volunteer organization. Okay? So, yan. Yung local government, civil, okay? So, yan yung nabanggit natin kanina. No? And, ito na yung IRR niya, no? Yung implementing rules and regulations niya. Ano ba ang sabi sa IRR? Ang batas kasi, class, kailangan meron siyang IRR or the implementing rules and regulations. So, ito yung susundan. So, base dyan sa batas na yan, gagawa pa sila, ang Congress natin, gagawa pa sila ng IRR niyan. Okay? So, ang purpose niyan ay these rules are hereby promulgated to prescribe the manner, kung papaano, procedures and guidelines for the implementation, para ma-implement ang batas na ito. Okay? And declaration of policy. Ano ba ang declaration of policy, no, ng batas na ito? So, sabi dito, uphold the people's constitutional rights to life and liberty. Yan. Kasi nga, alam naman natin, no, pag mayroong kalamidad, disaster, lagi nating nababalita na mayroong namamatay. Di ba? Mayroong naiiwan sa isang lugar. Yan, suppression ng liberty o kalayaan ng isang mamamayan dahil lang sa kalamidad. So, kaya sinabi diyan, it uphold. Kailangan i-maintain pa rin natin yung constitutional rights to life. No? And number 2, adhere to and adopt the universal norms, principle and standard of humanitarian assistance. Ayan, kaya alam nyo, alam kasi ng iba't ibang bansa yan no? Kagaya ng Amerika, Japan, no? Singapore, may mga binibigay na donation sa atin pag alam nilang tinamaan tayo ng super typhoon. Okay, kagaya ng Yolanda, no? Maraming mga tumulong sa atin kasi that is a universal norms. Pag sinabi nating universal norms and principle, batas sa buong mundo. no? Incorporate internationally accepted principle and guidelines of disaster risk management in the creation and implementation of national, regional, and local sustainable development and poverty reduction strategies, policies, plans, and budget, no, in line with this law, no? It incorporated, kaya nga nabanggit natin kanina, na-identify na natin yung mga vulnerable sector. Number 1 yung poor, no? Yung mahihirap. Kaya ano ba ang gagawin natin? Parang ganyan yan, no? Yung declaration of policy. Dapat matulungan ang mga yan. Adopt a disaster risk reduction and management approach that is holistic, comprehensive, integrated, and proactive. Dapat proactive, no? Hindi yung reactive. Ano ang pinagkaiba ng proactive sa reactive? Ang proactive, halimbawa, sinabi na ng Pag-asa, ng weather forecast na mayroong super typhoon. So, anong gagawin na natin? No? Evacuate na natin sila sa evacuation center. Kaya meron tayong mga ganyan, no? Evacuation center that is in address with this law. Kasi kailangan yan protektahan natin ang mga vulnerable sector. So, saan natin sila ipupunta? Of course, kaya mag-create. Kaya lahat na ng mga munisipyo, meron na silang evacuation center. Okay? Dito na nga lang sa atin, meron. No? So, dyan natin sila ipupunta para pag meron nandyan na, hindi na sila maanod, hindi sila mabaha, no? O kaya ay walang maibubuwis na buhay dahil lang nadaganan, o kaya ay sinumpong yung sakit niya. No, yan yung mga proactive. Yung reactive naman, saka ka lang gagalaw ang gobyerno natin, ang LGU natin, kapag na-flood na yung isang lugar. No, yan yung reactive. And then, develop, promote, and implement a comprehensive national disaster risk reduction and management plan. Ayan, dapat may plano. From national down to LGU. Kasama yan. Dapat may mga plano na sila. No? Lahat yan. Barangay, no? Sa LGU natin, meron na silang plano. Kaya nga meron tayong Office of the Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management. No? So, yan na yun. And adopt and implement a coherent, comprehensive, integrated, efficient, and responsive disaster risk reduction program. Dapat responsive, gumagalaw, no? Dapat tumutulong, uma-action kaagad-agad. Ayan yan. And the next, mainstream disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation and mitigation in development process such as policy formulation, socio-economic development, planning, budgeting, and governance, no? Yan. So, nasa na yan, no? Functions na yan ng ating mga LGU, from national to regional to LGU. And then, institutionalize the policy, structures, coordination mechanism, and programs with continuing budget. Kung baga, institutionalize, bahala na yung from barangay, munisipyo, LGU, kung paano nila i-strategize yung kanilang pondo, no? So, binibigyan ng karapatan ang ating mga LGU, ang gobyerno natin kung paano nila i-program ang kanilang budget. And then, mainstream disaster risk reduction into the peace process and conflict resolution approaches in order to minimize loss of lives and damage to property. Yan. Ensure that communities in conflict zones, including internally displaced person or yung IDPs, can immediately go back to their normal lives during period of intermittent conflict. So, ito, halimbawa, sa mga magulong area, kung baga, wala munang away-away, no? Ang gawin na lang natin ay magtulungan na lang. No? Kaya nga, it will, that is the disaster risk reduction, yung sa mga magugulong lugar, may mga NPA, may mga bakbakan, bumabagyo na nga lang, bakbakan pa kayo dyan, no? So, wala muna yan, no? So, let's kumbaga, peace muna, no? Peace muna. Ensure that disaster risk reduction and climate change measures are gender responsive. Ayan, ano yung mga gender responsive? Dapat walang pinipili, babae, lalaki, bakla, tomboy. Kailangan mong tulungan. Hindi dahil tomboy, bakla ka. O kaya ay bakla, sasabihin mo, dyan ka muna, no? Nalulunod na nga lang. Dahil bakla, yun muna, no? Dyan ka muna. So, hindi pwede yung ganun, And recognize the local risk patterns across the country and strengthen the capacity of LGU for disaster risk reduction and management through decentralized power, responsibilities, and resources at the regional and local level. So, ibig sabihin, binibigay yung authority sa mga LGU natin, no? From the regional and down to the local level. Okay? And recognize and strengthen the capacities of LGU and communities in mitigating and preparing. Yan, of course, kasama yan. Sa LGU naman talaga yan Engage in participation of civil society organization, private sector, ito na yung nabanggit natin kanina, and volunteer, no, in the government disaster risk reduction. So, hindi lang sasabihin natin, gobyerno lang yan. No, lahat tayo. Develop and strengthen the capacity of vulnerable and marginalized group, no, to mitigate, prepare, and then enhance and implement a program where humanitarian aid worker, communities, health professionals, government aid agencies, donors, and the media are educated and trained on how they can activate, support breastfeeding before and during a disaster or an emergency. And provide maximum care, assistance, and services to individuals and families affected by disaster. Implement emergency rehabilitation project to lessen the impact of disaster and facilitate resumption of normal social and economic activity. So, functions na yan, class, ng ating mga na sa LGU, yung mga infrastructure, iba't ibang mga infrastructure. So, functions na nila yan, So, scope of application, these rules provide for the development of policies and plans and the implementation of actions and measures pertaining to all aspects of disaster risk reduction and management, including good governance, risk assessment, and early warning, knowledge building and awareness raising, reducing underlying risk factors, and preparedness for effective response and early recovery. This shall apply to all levels of government. Take note, lahat ito, walang exception. So, hindi pwedeng magsabi yung LGU na, hindi kami kasali dyan. To include civil societies. Okay? Kasama yan, private sector, and all other DRM stakeholders. So, lahat tayo, lahat ng mga organization, government, private organization, kasama yan. Na-incorporate na sa kanila. Kung may negosyo ka, dapat meron kang disaster risk reduction management plan. Meron kang kwan dyan para at least ikaw na negosyante, ikaw na isang organization, meron kayong plano about in response to this disaster risk. Okay? So, yan yung scope of application. So, hindi lang gobyerno, lahat tayo. So, yung definition of terms, okay, that is now your assignment. Medyo marami-rami yan. Assignment yan, included lahat yan sa ating exam o kaya ay quiz. Kasama yan, yung mga definition of terms. Huwag na nating i-include yan sa discussion natin. So, we are now on the structure of the DRRM. So, makikita nyo dyan, meron tayong restructuring of institution. Kasi nga, sabi natin kanina, meron tayong former law, and that is the PD 1566. So, from National Disaster coordinating council, ano? So nabago na 'yan, no? Nabago na. So ito na yung bago. Yan sa right side niya. Yung DRRM Act, no? Yung 1012-1. And then overseeing, ayan yung national DRRMC down to regional DRRMC, provincial DRRMC. Of course, yung mga implementing agency, of course, yung kanilang mga offices, no? So, kung baga nasa ayos kaysa yan, no? So, dyan lang, from regional DCC, provincial DCC, hindi mo na alam kung sino ang implementing agency. Sa bagay, automatically. Ang problema nga lang kasi, hindi naka-specify kung anong office. So, dito kasi, sa bago, talagang they created, ano, yung kanilang mga offices, ano, in order to implement effectively the DRRM. Okay. So, ito na, no? So, ito yung down to Barangay Development Council. Ayan. So, makikita nyo, ano? So, naayos. Dito pa lang sa flowchart niya, mas maayos itong bagong batas natin kaysa yung lumang batas or yung former law. No? So, dito naman sa National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, no? So, DND, yung Department of National Defense natin, yan ang pinaka-chairman, no? Siya ang head. Tapos sa baba niya, yan naman yung kanyang mga alalay, ano? Yung DILG, DSWD, DOST, and then the NEDA. And then kung mapapansin nyo, ang daming mga agencies dyan, no? Na nakatulong sa kanila, ng mga member nila. Okay, so ibig lang sabihin yan, nationalistic approach talaga ito. Hindi lang ang gobyerno or hindi lang yung DND, hindi lang yung DILG, hindi lang yung DSW, kundi lahat na ng agency ng government natin. And take note sa baba niya, to include also yung private sector. Okay? So, yan nga, holistic approach. Lahat tayo may pakialam pagdating sa disaster risk reduction management. Yung flowchart naman ng composition of the local DRRM council, no? So it's either kung ikaw man ay governor or mayor, ikaw yung chairman, no? So ikaw yung kung baga team leader diyan. And then sa baba, yung member mo, yan, yung mga DRRM officer, engineering officer, health officer, lahat na yan, no? Hanggang sa baba na naman yan, private sector na naman. Okay? And sa local DRRM office naman, ay yung mga DRRM officer, administrative and training, research and planning, and operation and warning. Ayan, yan yung mga composition nila. Okay, so holistic approach talaga from national down to local. So what will guide the DRRM implementation? So the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Framework serve as the principal guide to the disaster risk reduction and management effort in the country. This shall be developed by the NDRRMC. It shall be the basis for the formulation of the National DRRM Plan. So, sila na ang bahala dyan, ano? So, nabanggit naman natin kanina, sila talaga yung initiator, ano? Ng mga plan, rules, guidelines, and then ibababa yan from national to local. So, kung mapapansin nyo dyan, no? Local DRRM plan. So, bababa yan. So, lahat yan coordinated. Lahat, no? From national, regional to local. And the NDRRMP shall be formulated and implemented by the Office of the Civil Defense, no? Or yung OCD. And it set out goal and specific objective for reducing disaster risk to include, ito na, identification of hazard. Halimbawa, dito sa lugar natin, nasaan ba yung vulnerable sa hazard? Okay? And approaches and strategies to be applied in managing said hazard and risk. Agency role, responsibilities in line of authority at all government levels. Vertical and horizontal coordination of DRRM in pre-disaster and post-disaster phases. Ayan, no? So, after ng disaster, ang tawag dyan ay post-disaster. So, ano ang ginagawa nila? Rehabilitation, no? Nire-rehab nila. O kaya ay ginagawa nila yung mga sirang kalsada, tulay, no, mga infrastructure na na-damage. Yan yung mga ginagawa nila under post-disaster phases. At napapansin naman natin yan, ano, na ginagawa ng ating lokal na pamahalaan. Okay. How can DRRM initiative be sustained by the government? So, paano daw masusustain yung mga programa dito sa baba, ano, from the local government unit? Of course, nandyan yung participation, number 1. No? So, inclusion of the civic services organization and the private sector. Ayan. So, kasama-kasama yan. And, of course, they have also the capacity, formulation of national institutional capability building program for disaster risk reduction and management to address specific weaknesses of various government agencies and LGUs. So, kumbaga, pag magmi-meeting sila, no? So, ina-addressan nila kung ano ba ang problema natin dyan sa local LGU, ano bang problema natin dyan? No? So, ikaw naman na LGU, siyempre, you are going to identify, ito, kulang kami nito, kailangan namin ng flood control program, kailangan namin ng evacuation program, no? So, yan, tutulong naman, ano, yung National Institutional Capacity Building Program dyan, upang sa ganun ay matugunan yung problema ng local government unit. Okay, and of course, the periodic awareness and education program to accommodate newly elected officials and members of the LDRRMCs through the DRRM Training Institute. Ibig sabihin, kailangang i-train itong mga newly elected officials natin. Halimbawa, itong election. May bago tayong mayor. Siyempre, wala naman siyang idea. So, kailangan niyang mag-undergo ng training, no? Seminar, mga ganyan. And constitution of a technical management group to coordinate and meet as often as necessary to effectively manage and sustain the national effort on DRRM. Yan, ano? So, kailangan merong mga technical management group dyan, no? Na laging nakiki-coordinate, na laging updated about the program of DRRM. Pagdating naman sa fund, pondo, yan ang pinaka-importante, no? Kahit na maganda ang programa, kung walang pondo, wala rin lang silbi. So, of course, ang gagawin nila, submission of programming and reports relating to the LDRRMF by the LDRRMO through the LDRRMC and the LDC to the local sanggunian, para sa kanilang budget, and of course to the local commission on audit. Lahat kasi pag may programa ang gobyerno natin, laging bumubuntot yung commission on audit para i-audit kung nasaan napunta yung pera ng gobyerno. So, monitoring of releases, utilization, accounting, and auditing. Yan, yung in short nga, yung i-audit nila. Okay? Kung yun bang mga budget ay in line, in accordance with the guidelines and procedures yang provided by the NDRRMC. Okay? So, i-continue natin, on the next, kasi yung mga iba dyan ay matatakil sa susunod. So, what is the difference between the DRRM fund and the previous calamity fund? So, a declaration of state of calamity is no longer necessary to access and utilize the DRRM fund. So, hindi na daw kailangan na mayroong state of calamity. No? Kung kailangan i-utilize, kung kailangan gamitin na. Huwag nang hintayin yung state of calamity. Kasi nga, responsive tayo sa disaster. Hindi na huwag mo nang hintayin na ma-disaster pa ang isang komunidad sa kalang gagalaw. So huwag na, hindi na kailangan. Iba pa lang 'yan. Iba pa lang yung declaration of state of calamity. No? So the local DRRM fund shall be sourced. So saan ba nanggagaling ang pondo? From not less than 5%. So ibig sabihin 5% of the estimated revenue from the regular sources. So, dyan magmumula yung budget. So, yung pondo ng barangay, ng LGU, 5% ang mapupunta sa DRRM. The DRRM fund can be used for DRRM, of course. Sabi dyan. And it can be used to implement the DRRM plan. Yan. So, 30% of the fund shall be set aside as quick response fund for relief and recovery program. Okay? So, dyan sa 5% na yan, so yan na, nakolekta na. Halimbawa, mayroong 1 million, for example. Yung 30% ng 1 million, yan ang gagamitin nila naman as quick response fund. Kagaya ng pagbibigay ng relief goods, o kaya ay for recovery program or rehabilitation program ng mga infrastructure na nasira. Di ba, napapansin natin kapag may nagtumbang mga punong kahoy, may mga nagchichinso. Doon nanggagaling yung pondo ng mga yan, So, unexpended, kumbaga unexpended, yung mga hindi nagamit, goes to a trust fund. Yan. So, hindi yan mawawala. So, pondo pa rin yan. And how is the proper utilization of the DRRM fund ensured? Paano ba daw natin may ensured na yung pondo ay talagang nagagamit respectively sa DRRM? So, at the local level, the LDRRMO through the LDRRMC and the LDC shall submit the proposed programming of the LDRRMF to the local sanggunian. Ayan. So, dito pa lang sa local government unit natin, sila na yung mag-identify kung saan ba talaga mapupunta. So, trusted naman natin ang mga yan kasi mga sanggunian, pinili yan ng taong bayan. And it shall likewise submit the report on the utilization of the LDRRMF and other dedicated DRRM resources to the local commission on audit. So, magsasubmit sila para sa ganon ay makita naman ng commission on audit or yung COA kung tama yung pinaglaanan nila ng pondo. So, releases, utilization, accounting, and auditing of the LDRRMF shall be monitored and shall be in accordance with the guidelines procedure by the NDRRMC. Okay? So, the LDRRM plan shall be the basis for the use and disbursement of the local DRRM fund. Kapag hindi yan naka-allotted sa program ng LGU, ng Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management, hindi yan pwedeng ponduhan o hindi pwedeng gamitin yung pera. Okay? Meron tayong 30%, pero yan ay for relief. and recovery program, yung pagkatapos na ng disaster. The rest, kung may mga before disaster, may mga programa sila, pag hindi yan nakaprogram, huwag mong gagamitin. Yan ang sabi sa batas. Okay? Ito naman ang maganda sa bagong batas natin kasi meron na tayong operation center. And alam nyo itong operation center na ito, this is a 24-hour na available ito. Okay? And this known as the Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Operation Center. No? So, ang ganda, no? So, every member agency of the RDRRMC shall establish its respective emergency operation center. So, magmula sa regional, provincial, o kaya ay LGU natin, meron yan. Meron niyang mga nakaabang o kaya ay may tao dyan. 24-hour basis. So, yan ang nakalagay sa batas natin. Sa iba naman sa Metro Manila, no? Kasi meron silang provision dyan under Republic Act 7924 at meron talaga silang special administrative region pagdating sa MMDRRMC nila. Okay? So, kaya nga ang kanilang chairperson dyan ay yung MMDA director. Okay? So, iba naman sa kanila sa Metro Manila. Yan din, establishment ng Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. Ganon din yan, So, 24-hour yan na open. Hindi pwedeng walang tao. So, yan ang sabi ng batas. So, there is hereby created a LDRRMO in every province, city, municipality under the office of the governor, city or municipal mayor respectively, and a barangay disaster risk reduction and management committee in every barangay to be headed by the punong barangay. O yan, ang klaro, no? Kaya hindi pwedeng halimbawa biglang may nabaha sa isang barangay, hindi pwedeng sabi bukas na lang kasi wala yung walang opisina, hindi pwedeng ganoon, no? Mandated yan, mandato nila, 24-hour yan. And ang composition, kailangan meron silang composed of DRRMO officer, to be assisted by 3 staff responsible for administration and training, research and planning, and operation and warning. So kailangan meron sila niyan, no? Para nga hindi pwede natin, kaya nga hindi pwedeng sabihin na gabi na o kaya ay walang tao, hindi pwede, So 24-hour yan. So ano ba yung qualification na maging DRRM officer? Simple lang naman, dalawa lang, sabi ng batas, must be civil service eligible. Ano ba yung civil service eligible? Okay? Dapat meron kang eligibility. Pumasa ka ng civil service exam o kaya ay pumasa ka ng board examination. Okay? Qualified ka na. Ano yung number 2? Must have a civil defense experience. Kaya nga may training. If you are willing, mag-apply ka lang and then kung matanggap ka, basta't qualified ka, matanggap ka, then magte-training ka. No? So yan namang barangay, Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council, it shall be a regular committee of the existing BDC and shall be subject thereto. The punong barangay shall facilitate and ensure the participation of at least 2 CSO representative from existing and active community-based people organization representing the most vulnerable and marginalized group in the barangay. Ayan. So, kailangan meron yan, yung mga civic society organization, no? So, kailangan merong dalawa na makipag-participate. And Yang local ordinance naman, the local sanggunian concerned shall enact the appropriate ordinance to create the DRRMO. So since matagal naman na itong batas na ito, sa expected na yan na lahat na ng barangay ay meron na silang BDRRMC. No? Ganyan kasi sa gobyerno, hindi ka pwedeng mag-create ng isang grupo kung hindi naman dadaan, ano? Kagaya ngayon, yung ruling diyan, dapat sa sanggunian ay bumuo sila ng mga ordinances para bubuo ng DRRMO office. Okay?